going to jump straight into the second part of our Clockwork Dragonling today. So we're going to get straight back into the colouring now. We are going to start with the eye. It is fairly quick coming through those colours, so I'll try to just run through them really quickly for you, and then I'll explain while I'm doing the second eye what I've actually done. So the first colour that we will start with when we do this eye is 141 Delft Blue. And what we're going to do is we're going to line around the pupil of the eye, and then we're going to flick little lines out from the pupil and then up from the bottom of the eyeball there as well, so of the iris. So you've got little lines coming through. So we're doing next colour over the top of the Delft Blue, Purple Violet, and we're going to go over and do the same thing using high pressure. So just flicking out towards the white part. I'm going to fill all of the white part in with light magenta. And then I'm going to do the white to blend it out. Now I'm doing black with high pressure and a sharp pencil, just filling in the pupil completely. We're going to go over this with white gel pen later. And then we're going to bring in some light chrome yellow, and we're just going to put a little bit of this through there just to brighten it up a little bit. I've got some light purple pink to do the fleshy areas of the corners of the eye and underneath the eye. And then I'm going to use some cold grey too, and I'm just going to fill the shadow area of the eye there at the top underneath the lid and the lashes. I'm going to blend this out with white. And now I'm going to go back to lining all the lines of the eye there. So I'm just lining all the corners and all the lines of the eye, and I'm going to do the eyelashes as well. So I'm going to use firm pressure, and I'm going to flick my pencil out towards the outside of the lashes, and I'm just going to colour and fill in the rest of the lashes there with this as well. So you can already see the eye really starting to stand out now. So if the video is too fast for you, do pause it, do your little bit that you need to do, and start it again. Don't try and keep up with the video, because obviously it's been done in time lapse and it's a little faster. And the reason I've had to do this is because the video was so long. There was over 9 hours of video recording for pencil, so it is a lot longer than what markers would be. So as I said, don't try to rush and follow quickly like this is. Obviously take your time to do the individual strokes on the lashes and things like that as you go. So we're going to start on the second eye using Delft Blue first. If you want to rewind and go back to the previous part of the eye and do this side as well, you could do that as well, because I haven't actually popped the colours up on the screen here, but we are coming in with the next colour, which was Purple Violet. And we're just going to do the lines out over the top of the Delft Blue. Then I'm going to come back in with the light magenta, and then the light chrome yellow just over the top there to give it that little bit of a highlight. I'm using the grey too to do the shadows of the eye there, and I'm just blending that out with the white. Now when I did the pink underneath the fleshy parts of the eye there, I didn't do it all in that colour. I just did little dashes and dots of it there, so to spread it out and give it that fleshy type look, because obviously the flesh there isn't all one tone, it's just different coloured, so I've just done that there. So now we're lining the black lashes on this one. Just bringing them out and then just filling in the rest of that colour. So that is with high pressure and it is using a sharp pencil. We will come over with the white gel pen and do the highlights at the end. So there's the eyes done there for you. So now we're going to move to the hair. So I'm going to use Pale Geranium Lake first, which is 121. Fortunately, I lost the video image there, but I'm just doing little lines from the bottom of the hair up and just from the top of the hair down. I'm not meeting them in the middle though, I'm stopping them short, and I'm going to spread the next colour out a little bit further over the top of that, so that will lengthen it. You'll be able to see it in one moment when it comes up there. Okay, so I've come in with 117 light cadmium red, and I'm just doing light strokes up and further out from the previous colour. So we're going down and then up, so down from the shadows, up from the bottom of the hair to create that highlight look. So you can see that I'm starting to fill in the hair now. So I'm going to go to the next colour, which is Scarlet Red. And I'm just going to go over the top again, bringing it further out into the middle. So what I'm trying to do is create a look of waves on the hair, or the hair curving. I'm also going to fill this in the eyebrows as well there. Now I've got dark cadmium yellow, do exactly the same thing. So I'm starting from the top and bringing some lines in, and coming from the bottom and bringing them up. So the lighter colours are now closer to the middle of each part of the hair, creating a highlight look. It's exactly the same that I would do with markers as well. So now I'm coming in with the lightest colour there, which is the light chrome yellow. That was 106 light chrome yellow, and I'm just going back over that again now. So I've nearly filled out all of the white sections of the hair now. And this is the highlight colour then, because we've got a sunset going on in the background later on. This will be the shine of the sun and things like that will be reflecting, and I wanted to put this into it as well. So I'm going over it now with white, and I'm just doing streaks, lines down. I'm not sort of blending it all in a circular motion or anything like that. I am just doing lines straight through that to keep the strands individual there. So we're going to use the same colours in the butterfly. So I'm using pale geranium lake. And I'm just going to put this on the edges of all of the butterfly wings in the coloured part there. So the outside part I'm going to do all one colour. The inside of the wings here I'm just going to go around with this colour. I'm just lightly going over it and spreading the colour all around the outside edge of these coloured parts. So still using a light pressure, I'm coming in with 118 Scarlet Red, and I'm just blending that a little bit further out. Not putting too much pressure on that one. So I'm coming in with light cadmium red, and I'm just going a little further into the middle of the sections there. Just nice and lightly. I'm going to go over with a firm pressure with the highlight colour. So I've got dark cadmium yellow, which is 108, and I'm just going over the red parts of the butterfly now and bringing this colour further into the middle. So still quite light in the middle there, but going with firm pressure over the other colour. So now I'm just doing the bottom butterfly here. I am going to come in with the next lightest colour, and I am going to go over those last middle parts there with this. This is light chrome yellow, so I'm doing firm pressure over the entire section of the butterfly wings now. Okay, so now we've done that, I'm coming over with light red violet on the outside of the butterfly now. So I'm just going around all the edging of the butterfly here, and I'm just not quite doing it. I don't actually have to do it all to the edge because I'm going to go around it with black, but just I did it both ways for you. So this one I'm just going to fill in the whole area of the white there on the butterfly. Just nice and firm, going over and around, so we're just sort of lining the butterfly. Now bringing in black, and I'm just going to line an edge of that colour. So just going around a thin edge of the butterfly just to make the butterfly really pop off the page. So just doing a nice dark line all the way around, perhaps putting a little bit of shape in as well, so that the butterfly has a pattern on it as well. Okay, so I'm just doing the same with the next butterfly. I'm not actually going quite as dark to the edges now, just to show you where the black is going in, because it is hard to see in the video. So this one I haven't quite done it as dark around the very, very edge of the butterfly. Okay, so anywhere that I've gone over, I've just used my eraser to clean that up a bit, and my duster to dust it off. So we're coming back with the black. Missed the head part there. So just putting the shape around the butterfly with the black now. Nice and dark with a sharp pencil, and just filling that out. So as you can see on the tip of the butterfly wing there, you come in a little bit and make a little bit of a rounded shape, which is putting a little bit of pattern into the butterfly. So this one I'll draw the area where I'm going to do black first, just in there, so you can see how I've shaped the butterfly there. So those parts that I've marked in will be dark black, and then I'm going to go around the rest of it and fill in that red purple colour now. So I'm just making sure they're filled out a little bit. I am going to go over that purple with some white later on, but for now we'll just leave them as that. Now, I did miss a little bit of the tights down here, so I've just got some ultramarine and light ultramarine and some white, and I'm just filling out the bottom of the socks or stockings there. And just lighter there again, and some white. And just erasing over where I've gone over the lines. There was a little bit of dust on the paper as well, so I've just brushed that off as well there. Now I'm just putting some grey into the soles of the shoes. So I'm using the darkest grey there, which was cold grey 6, and I'm just going on the top of the sole and just on the outer edges. And I've also put a little bit in the middle there to show that it dips in. I've gone to the next one, which I'm using is the cold grey 4. And then I'm using the cold grey 2, and I'm just filling that in, and I will use the white to go over this again, and then I'll just repeat it to darken it up a little bit. So you can see I'm doing firm pressure on the outside, and then as I come in towards the lighter area, I'm just lightening the pressure of my pencil, and then I'm bringing in the next pencil with high pressure, and I'm lightening that off as I come into the highlight area as well. This is to create that depth between the light and the shadow there. Kind of coming in now to do the fins on the dragon. So I'm going to use my middle purple pink, and I'm just going to go around the edges of the fins here. So on where the spines and the fins join, I'm just putting the this colour in there with light pressure at the moment. Now I'm coming in with Scarlet Red, and I'm just going to do the face and some of the body areas now. I'm using light pressure, and I'm just basically setting up the colour so I know where I'm going to put things. So I'm going to put this in all of the shadow areas, so all of the creases and where the fins might be overhanging. I'm putting this in here now, and around the eye. I'm also going to do around the cheek in this part, and I'm going to do a little bit of the back of the body there as well. I'm creating shape with this colour, showing the nose shape there, and also the corner of the eye and the cheek. This will all be done with this just to fill it out. So then when I come back over it with firmer pressure, it'll all be already there for me to go over. You'll notice now this is the time where I start to get a little bit sporadic with colours, picking up colours and things. This is when I start to notice when things are missing. So I've already noticed now as I'm doing this one that the back of the dress or underneath the dress there under her leg hasn't been filled out, and also there's parts of her dress sitting on the ground beside the dragon there as well, which I've got to colour. I'm going to put a little bit of this on the back here, but I'm going to blend this colour out to a different colour so he's multicoloured. So all of the bolts and cogs I'm going to do with the dark grey, so cold grey 6 I've got here. And I'm just going to do around the circles here, and I'm going to do on the right hand side of each of the cog parts as well. I'm just going to line them, and then I'm going to blend these out to the lightest colour until I get to white again. So I'll go fill them all out. I'm also going to do this part of the dragon this colour as well. So it's kind of like a little bit of armour that he's got on his back. So I'm doing that this colour as well. And I just noticed that underneath the wing there, that should be lined with the scarlet red there. So I'll come back in a little while and I'll add that in as well. So I've just done the right hand side of the cogs. You can see the little lines that I'm doing up there now. And just on the tops there as well, just to create a little bit of depth in those. And now I'm coming in with Cold Grey 4, and I'm just going to put in the next colour, blend those cogs out a little bit with this one. And I've also just lined the horns there as well, just to mark them in. Now I'm coming in with the Cold Grey 2, and I'm just going to blend that out a little bit further. I have left a little bit of white spots on the horns there, and also in the cogs there'll be a little bit of white left. This is where I'm going to blend out with the white to leave that little bit of shine on it so it looks like metal. So now I'm just going to blend out some of the colour on the head there. I'm using light cadmium red, and I'm just going to spread that scarlet red out a little bit more, just blending this further out. So we're using the same technique as before. I am keeping a light pressure at this stage, and I'm just going to go and extend that previous colour out a little bit further, and create more shadow and depth in those shadow areas, and that's giving us a look of a round sort of face, which is we've got that highlight in the middle there just to highlight that a little bit more. I've got some dark chrome yellow here, and I'm just coming out a little bit further. I'm actually going over the top of the two red colours with this one and bringing it further out into the highlight area. I am putting a little bit firmer pressure on this time, not full pressure, but just enough to go over all the red there and just bring that a bit further. Now I'm coming in with dark cadmium yellow, and I'm just spreading this a little bit further out. So I have put a little bit more pressure on this time, coming further over the highlight area now, and just continually going over the red as well, just to blend that out and give it a nice transition. Now I'm going to use light chrome yellow, and I'm going to use this colour to go over the entire area now. So I'm bringing it over the top of the red colour and the other yellows, and I've brought it right into the highlight area now. So going over the whole lot. Now I'm coming in with white, and I'm just going over the entire area with the white. We will need to come back in again later and darken up the shadow areas, but at the moment I'm just going to fill this all over the entire head and the body that I've done at the moment, just to give it a nice blend, make sure everything's transitioned nicely and things like that. So just popping that in now. So now I've got some light purple pink, And I'm just going over the top of the pink on the fins now and just bringing that further out into the highlight area. I'm going to do these a little bit multicolored as well. As I said before, I'm just missed a little bit there, so I'm just going to fill this back underneath the fin here with the scarlet red. Got the light cadmium red, and I'm just going over that again. So bringing all the same colours in the face over this part as well. Just darkening up that scarlet red again, and while I've got it, I'll just do the remainder of this colour, just an extra cover over the top to deepen those shadows up. Now I'm going to bring in some Delft blue again. I'm going to add a different colour into the dragon now. So this will be the darkest of the new colour. So I'm just going to place this in the shadow areas of the tail and the back end there. You can see I've just spread a little bit out further into the highlight area as well. I'm also going to do underneath the cogs and in between the cogs on his back leg there. And I'm also going to do his feet and claws and things with this as well. I've done his top fins this colour as well, or sorry, spines this colour as well. And I'm just blending it out now with ultramarine to lighten it up a little bit. And I'm also going to do the same to all the areas that I've just done around the cogs and the back legs. So I've also done the middle of the cog as well, and I'm going to give them a shiny look at the end so they look like they're jewels or sparkling. So yeah, just filling that in now. So I've just got the next lightest colour coming in now, which is light ultramarine, and I'm just blending that a little bit further out. So you can see that I've gone heavier on the shadow parts of it, and then I've come out lighter again. So this colour I'm going to do over the most of that area now, bringing it out further into there, and I'm going to go over this with white to blend it all out. So just the same technique as before, we're doing firmer pressure on the darker side, and then as we come out to the lighter side, we just lighten up that pressure. Now I'm just blending that out with the white. So I'm going over the top of all of the colour, starting from the highlight area and moving out to the darker areas. Because I don't want to bring that darker colour into the lighter areas, I will start in the light part for this and work my way out. But normally we work from the dark side out to the light. So now we're bringing in some dark chrome yellow, and we're just going to extend these top fins, the colour out a little bit further. So we're going to go over the pink and bring it out a little bit further. Oh, I've missed a little bit there. I'm just going to go back and extend these ones a bit further. Okay, so going back over them with the yellow now. So now I've got my light ultramarine, and I'm going to just put a little dab of this on the edge of each of the fins, so the top edge of the fins, and just a little bit of a triangle shape down. No, very light pressure on this, and I'm going to bring the chrome yellow back over the top. So this is the light chrome yellow. I'm just going to darken that blue up a little bit, put a little bit more in. Now I'm going to come in with the white, and I'm just going to go over the entire area again. So I'll start from the highlight and move out towards the dark in this, just to give it another smooth transition there, to show that there's no sort of jump between each of the colours. Just going to darken up the pink a little bit with my middle purple pink, and I'm just going to go around the edges of the fins here and just darken that up. I'm also going to put this around the wheels, on the ropes of the wheels and things like that, the belts. I'm just coming in with the Delft blue now. I'm just going to do around the outside of the eye here, and also the dress. I'm going to do the dress in the background there now as well, so I'll do this in the shadow areas. Just got some blue violet there, and I'm just going to do the outside further of the eye there, and also do some more of the dress, bringing it out into the highlight area. I'm going to do the claws with this as well, and I'm blending that out with mauve now. I'm going to use some purple violet to bring that out a little bit further there on the dress. And we're just going to blend that out with some white now. So we've just filled in the missing parts of the dress, and we've also finished off the claws there as well. I'm now just bringing in some purple violet. I'm doing the outside of the middle circle of the eye now, and I'm going to blend it out with some ultramarine and then some white. I've got some Delft blue again, and I'm just going around those darker areas of the blue sections now, just to make the shadows deeper. So we're going to head on to the background parts now. So I'm going to do the key and the grass, and then we'll move on to the background part. So for the first part of the key here, I've got my Delft blue, and I'm just putting in a few shadow areas on the key. Give it a bit of a rusty look, I guess, to make it look not so bright and shiny and new. put a few shadows in, so I'm doing that now with this. Just very light pressure because I'm going to be going over the top of this with the yellows. Just putting a little bit in here and there. So I've got some ultramarine and I'm just going to go over the top and bring that further out. And then I've got some middle purple pink and I'm just going to do a couple of the edges. You can just follow along what I'm doing here or do whatever you like. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but just putting a little bit of colour into it as well. Some dark chrome yellow there, and I'm just going to go over the top of these previous areas I've just done and just blend this a little bit further out to the highlight area. Now I've got some dark cadmium yellow and I'm just going to go a little bit further out into the highlight area over the top of the other colours. Now I'm coming in with light chrome yellow, and I'm just going over the top of everything, so over the top of the highlight areas as well and all of the previous colours. And I'm just going to darken up that ultramarine there and put a little bit on the top here. And just re-going over the light chrome yellow now. I'm just going to do the cogs with the grey now. I'm using the cold grey 6. I'm going to come in and blend that out with the cold grey 4. And then I'm going to come in with cold grey 2 and I'm just going to lighten that up a bit and blend it out with the white. Just got some Delft blue again and I'm just going to put this into the shadow areas of the ring in the middle there. I'm going to blend it out with ultramarine. And then I'm just going to blend that little white part out now with white. Just coming in with some chrome yellow, just going over the top of those shadow areas again. Coming in with light chrome yellow now. And then I've got some grey, the dark grey again, and I'm just going over the top of this snake here. I'm going to blend that out with the cold grey 4 and then again with the cold grey 2, and then I'm going to blend that out again with white. Use Delft blue to fill out the eye there on the snake. Just got some cold grey there and I'm just filling in the keyholes on the front of the key there. I'm going to bring in the Delft blue and just fill in the little circles on the key there. Just bringing in some Delft blue just to do the shadow areas again here, just deepen them up a bit on the dragon. Just going to bring in some middle purple pink just to deepen up those areas as well. Got some pale geranium lake, and I'm just going to darken up those shadow areas on the dragon. Got some light purple pink. I'm just going to darken up all the fin areas. And I've got some cold grey 6 there, and I'm just going to darken up the metal areas of the dragon. A little bit more pale geranium lake in there to darken that up more. Bringing in some ultramarine to darken up those areas as well. I've got some mauve there just to do the bottom of her dress there. I've missed that before, so I'm just going over that now. Now I've got some purple violet there, just bringing that out a little bit further. And then finally some white just to blend that out. So we're starting in the glasses. I'm going to use mauve to do the outline and the darker parts of the glasses now. So you can do this any way that you really like. I'm just putting in these colours to match the sky and the water and things like that. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit more purple into that now. Purple violet. Just going to spread this out a little bit further. Now I've got some violet, and I'm just spreading that a little bit further down and around the glasses, giving them a little bit of a curved look. I'm going to go over the top of the previous colours a little bit, and I'm just going to put this in extra as well. So we're just lining this in now. Purple pink I've got there. I'm going to put some yellows into it. So I've got dark chrome yellow. And I've got some light chrome yellow, and I'm just filling in some of the highlighted areas there Just putting in little lines really and trying to give them a curved look. I'm just going to come over the top of that with white now and just blend out those areas with some lines, and some of it I'll actually try to smudge in a little bit. So we're going to start on the grass now. So I'm going to use some deep cobalt green first. I'm going to come in around all of the areas that would have shadows with this first. So just shadowing and lining the shadow area. And just under these areas where there's would be really dark shadows from the obviously from the legs sitting over the grass and things like that, I'm just putting little strokes out from that area with this. Now coming in with light Thalio green, and I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just coming around the shadow areas and just doing little strokes up from the little grass tuft as well on the picture. So there is already drawn in grass clumps. So I'm just going over those lightly with this. And now I'm bringing in the Thalio green. I'm just adding to the extra grass there, so just bringing more in over the top of the previous colour. You can see as I come past here with my hand that I'm doing the individual blades of grass, so just small strokes out from the shadow area. So now I'm bringing in dark Thalio green, and I'm just going over the top of those further again. So just underneath from the darker areas, I'm bringing this colour up and around, and I'm just doing little strokes. So I've got a fairly sharp pencil and I'm just doing little strokes all over. Concentrating on the little tufts of grass as well as the shadow areas at the moment. So under the wings there, I have done it a little bit darker because that's where the wing would be overhanging the grass. And as I said, just continuing to put little strokes out from the tufts of grass at the moment. Now I'm going to come in with my deep oxide green. Before I do that, I'm just going to draw a border around the picture as well, just so I know where I'm going from on the picture. And with this green, I'm actually going to do flicks across the bottom of the page up into the white area now. So what I'm trying to do is achieve a look where the grass is actually growing from the bottom of the page. Randomly across the page there now. So you can see there that's where the edge will be of the border. I've got juniper green, and I'm just going to bring strokes up from there again. I've kind of gone up a little bit further on these, so that grass is now a little bit longer now. I've got some deep cobalt green now, and I'm just bringing this out again, making the grass a little bit longer. So you can see with the white paper up against it, you can see the grass is coming from the bottom of the page. So I'm going to bring in some dark phthalo green. This time I've gone up the top of the already done flick, so just creating more length there, and another layer. Now I've got just phthalo green, and I'm just going to go extending that a little bit further up the page. Then I've got some cobalt green again, and I'm just going to go a little bit further into the areas now, filling in some of the white. Just doing little strokes up or down depending on where the dragon is sitting or her legs are sitting, and just flicking it out. Just lots of strokes. So nice and sharp pencil here as well. Got deep cobalt green to put a little bit more depth into the shadow areas again. So many different colours, just mixing all these greens up. And I've got that chrome oxide green again now, just flicking in the darker areas to give it a little bit of texture. So just bringing in some more cobalt green, just putting a little bit more texture in and filling up some of the white space, just doing little flicks out and up. I'm going to add in some light green now into all of the white areas. So I'm going to use grass green for this, and I am just going to lightly colour through all of the white areas and over the top of all of these dark strokes of grass. Drawing my border on the side as well, and I'll also draw the border later on up the top too. And now I'm just continuing on with that grass green and just spreading it all the way over all of the dark green here, just to fill in all those white spaces there. If you have done your picture in your book and you don't want to have the border underneath like that, you can just put a piece of paper on top and flick the colour out from the paper. So we've just got the background to do now, so we're going to start with the sunset in the background. So we're going to do the background and finishing now. So we're going to start with the light chrome yellow, and we're going to do where the sun would be. So I'm just putting mine here. You can decide where you want to start yours off. So I'm just doing the lightest colour here from the middle. Now I'm coming in with my dark cadmium yellow, and I'm going to just extend this a little bit further out. And now I've got some dark chrome yellow, and I'm going to bring this further out up to the top. So I'm just doing light pressure and just extending and spreading this out further and further. So we're just going to reach further to the edges of the horizon. And as we get further up, it will get darker because obviously the sun's starting to set behind the horizon now. So I'm bringing in pale geranium lake to start off that darker colour. Just light pressure. Got some more dark cadmium yellow there, and I'm just going to spread that in. So I'm really just mixing up the colours and trying to get a nice mixture of colours throughout the sky. I've got that light chrome yellow again. I'm just going in and doing that now. Just got a bit of a crease in my page there. I was just trying to flatten it out. Just bringing in pale geranium lake again, a little bit darker in some spots. Just got some more light chrome yellow again. Got dark chrome yellow. So I'm just mixing up those colours nicely just so that they blend in together. Got some dark cadmium yellow now. Just going in a little bit further. Some light chrome yellow there again now. So I'm really just coming backwards and forwards with the different colours and blending them in. So I've got pale geranium lake again now, and I'm going to bring this in a little bit darker. So I'm varying in pressure all over it. Some places I wanted it a bit darker, some places I wanted it lighter. I am going to go over the whole area with white after. So I've just added a couple of colours there, and I've listed them on the bottom of the screen so you can just follow along there. Because I am changing them so often, I have just done that to make it easier for you. So I'm coming in with a bit of a darker pink now. So light violet red, and I'm just spreading this around on the clouds and on top of the, underneath the cloud, so with the shadows of the cloud as well. I'm just putting in another border at the top here as well. So just little lines are going in there now. Some more pale geranium lake just up into the top areas and blending that in a bit more, so it's very, very light pressure on that. Got that light red violet back in again, just putting that in through. I'm just going to put it a little bit firmer around the bottoms of the clouds here as well, just so that you can see the cloud from the sky. Going to bring in some violet and just spread that up further into the back of, or the top of the clouds there. It's getting a bit darker up there, so trying to give that effect. I'm going to also put this around the edges of the clouds here and out again, just to darken that up a little bit. Just giving them some definition. Just bringing a little bit more of that pale geranium lake, just to put it up further into the sky there in the shadow areas a bit more. I'm going to bring in some ultramarine, and I'm going to darken up that top area now, so some blue through there, into the clouds as well, some light pressure and some heavy pressure. That light ultramarine, just spreading that out further, up into the top clouds as well. Okay, I've got some sky blue, and I'm just going to put the sky blue all over the rest of the sky and the clouds as well. Just a bit everywhere all over the sky there. And I'm going to bring in some cold grey too, and just spread that around the clouds as well. Darkening up underneath where the clouds are overlapping each other as well, just to make them stand out a little bit more. Got some more of the yellow, bringing that in now. And then some of the brighter yellow as well, just to give some of that there, and then we're going to put in the white now, and we're just going to blend it in. On these parts I'm just doing lines, blending the lines in, and on the clouds I'll try and do some round circular motions as well. So I've just put a little bit of grey through, a little bit more yellow, just to bring out those cloud tops a little bit more. I'm now going to go over these butterflies with some white just to lighten up the purple in them a little bit. I'm just going to do the hills in the background there. I'm just going to use the cold grey 6, and I'm just going to blend out these shadow areas a little bit lighter as I go towards the edge of the hills. I'm coming in with the chrome oxide green, and I'm going over the top of the grey and bringing a little bit further out. Now I've got some juniper green, and I'm going to go over the top of the dark again and bring it further out into the lighter area. The pencil's a little bit sharp there, so I'm just going to blunt that off a little bit as well. Because I want there to be no sort of dark lines or pushed in lines there, or flattened a line with all the pencils that I have, just to make sure. So I'm bringing in the next colour here now, which is dark Thalio green. Just over the top of all of the previous colours and bringing it a little bit further into the lighter area where the sun would be shining off it. Now for the edge pieces, I'm actually going to use 2 colours. I'm going to use grass green and the light chrome yellow, and I'm just going to mix them up. So I'll do the yellow right on the very edge and then blend that out with the green over the rest of the hills as well. Okay, so I'm now just putting white over the top of that. Just doing circular motions all the way over everything there and just blending it all in nice and smooth. And just finishing off the edge pieces there, I just noticed that I might put a little bit of blue into the water on the sides here just to blend that out to the edge, and then go back over that with the white. So now I'm starting on the other side of the hills, and I am starting with that darkest cold grey, which is cold grey number 6, and I'm just spreading out this all the way over those hills, and where the hills would overlap I'm doing behind them as well. Now I'm bringing the chrome oxide green over the top of that and extending it a little bit further up from the shadow area. So we're creating the shade and the edge pieces will be lighter. Now I'm going to bring that juniper green back in, and I'm going to extend a little bit further out. And then moving to the dark thalio green and extending further over that again. Once we've done this colour, we're going to extend that further out with the light chrome yellow on the edges of the hills again, and we'll blend that out with the grass green over the entire mountain, and then we're going to add in the white again. So I'll pop these up on the screen so you can see them as they go. Just deepening up those shadow areas with the darker greens again. And then most of our colouring part of it is done. I am going to get a blending stub, and I am going to blend over all of the larger parts of colour there that have been blended in with the white, just to make sure all the tooth has been pushed down and to give it a little bit more of a shiny look. So a blending stub is just a large roll of paper which has been pushed together nice and firm for you to blend over pencil with. So here's my blending stub. It was just a cheap shop one, it wasn't anything expensive. To sharpen it and give it a bit more of a point as well, once you've gone over this as well, there'll be colour on the end of the stub. You can just take that off with some fine sandpaper. So I just rub the sandpaper on each side to get rid of the colour off it and to give it a point again. So I'm just rubbing over all of those larger areas just to flatten them out a little bit, get rid of any remaining tooth that's there, brings that colour in nicely. So I'm going to do this on the hills and also on the sky and the water as well. Okay, so I've just done a little bit on the glasses as well. Now I'm bringing in a Posca pen. Now here you can use any type of pen that you like. You could use gel pen, you could use white paint. I've chosen both a Posca pen and a white gel pen to do. So all I'm going to do now is just go around and put on little highlights all over the picture. You could use the final image as a guide to what I've done, but you really can put them anywhere that you feel that they need to be. You can make it more sparkly than I've done, you can make it less sparkly, it's up to you. I've done it on some of the highlight areas as well, just to brighten them up a little bit. And I've also put some little stars and dots all over it as well. So where the jewels are there as well on the key and on the dragon, I will use my gel pen on the darkest side. I will line it and put a dot on it as well, just to make them stand out and have a nice shine on them. So that's it, we are almost done now. Just blending a little bit more out of that white there just to make the highlight shine a bit more. But if you have any questions, I would love to have a chat with you, so you can always join our Facebook group, or you're welcome to send me an email. Anything that I can help you with, I'll be happy to try. But yeah, thank you so much for watching my videos, and if you'd like to get updates or notifications of when I do post new videos, just subscribe. So everything's really coming together now, and the picture's starting to look really good. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed today's session, and that you learnt something new, and thank you again to Jasmine for allowing us to do these beautiful pictures.